So, hey everyone, welcome to CodeCon. Today I'm here with another interesting question from SQL, and it was asked in one of the Google interviews. It's a interesting one and quite a easy one. So let's see it. Okay. So here we are given a table. In this particular table, we are given three columns, right? The company column, the user ID, and the language the users know. So what the question says is that we need to find the company that is having at least two users who speak both the languages, English and German. So we need to spot out the companies where there are at least two users who knows all both the languages, like the languages in English and German. Okay. So now if you see the table, uh, you see in company one. Okay. So if I had to explain you, I'll just write in company one. Suppose in company one. See, in company 1, user ID 1 speaks English, user ID 1 also knows German. So we will consider him, right? Because he knows both the language. In company 1 itself, user ID 2 knows only English. So he will not be considered in this list, right? Again, user ID 3, he knows German and he also knows English. So he will be considered in this list, right? Again, user ID 4, he knows only English. So he will not be considered. So here with company 1 ends. So moving on to the next company, company 2. Company 2, right? In company 2, what we see is that user ID 5, he knows English, he knows German, he also knows Spanish. So he falls in this category where he know English and German both. Along with that, he knows Spanish, which is not our business, right? We had to only to do, we are only focused with English and German, so he knows both, so we'll consider him, right? Again, coming to user ID 6, he knows German, he knows Spanish, but he does not know English. So we will not consider him. Okay. Moving to the next user ID 7, he knows only English. Again, we will not consider him as he does not know German. So here we see that in these two company 1 is having two users who knows both the language English and German. But company 2 is having only one user, right? User number 5. So in the output, we will display company 1. As the question says that we need to find at least two users who speaks both the languages. So I guess the question is clear to you guys. Now give a try to it and jump onto the solution. Okay. So first, what I will do is that I will first filter out both the two languages. We are dealing with the two languages, English and German. So I will first filter out these two languages. So select from company users where language in uh, English, comma, German. Okay. So what we will get here is that only the two languages, right? We'll get only the two languages, that is English and German. Okay. So now see here what happens if we see I'm getting in the language column, I'm getting only the two language, English and German. So if we are going to count the users on the basis of the languages, then no. Suppose user 1 knows two languages. Okay. So if we count the number of languages each user know, and if the number of languages the user know comes out to be 2, that means he definitely knows English and German. Okay, listen carefully. What I am saying is that if you count users based on the number of languages he knows, and if the number of and it comes out to be 2, that means he knows both the languages. This is the thing we are going to focus on. Okay. So what we are going to do here is we are going to select as we had to group this with the help of group this on the base of the company, also on the base of the user ID. So we need to consider two things: the company ID also and the user ID also, right? So see what I'm doing: company ID, user ID, and I'm counting the users. User ID group by group by company id comma user id. Okay, so as okay, let's give it as 2, sorry, cnt. Okay, so let's give it as cnt. Now see what happens. See, user id 1 in company 1, user id 1 knows two languages. As we have already given the condition here that we are only focused with English and German, so user id 2 knows two languages, which means he knows both English and German, so he will be considered. Are you getting my point? He will be considered, right? Similarly, user 2 knows only one language. You might have seen here in the table, if I have to show you, user 2 knows only English, right? So here it's coming like he knows only one language, that is English. User 3 again, he knows two language, that means he is falling in this category we are wanting. Okay, so now I will put here uh, having this one, that is count user id, count user id is equal to 2. Okay, having count user id is equal to, so we are getting this. So as I'm only focused as a question says that we need to find the users, we need to find the company where there are at least two users. So right, at least two users are there, at least two users. So I'm here we need to find the users, those who are knowing both the languages. So the count should be 2, which means he knows both the languages, so I am writing having count is equal to 2. Okay, I will store this in the CTE process with CTE as. Okay, now see what I'm going to do. The next step I'm going to find, as the question says, we need to find the company that are having at least two users who speak both the languages, at least two users. So in that case, I'm going to count number of users per number of users per company where the count is 2, right? Number of users for company 2 is where the count is 2 is 2. Number of users in the company 2 where the count is 2 is 1. So in that case I'm going to use the count function, right? So I'm going to write this key with select. Okay, I'm going to store it another city, might not be okay, right? I'm going to first write the query. Okay, select from CTE. I'm going to consider company ID, uh, company ID comma count company ID, and they should be group by company ID. Okay, suppose give it a name as company count ccnt. Okay, that means company count. Now if I run this query, see, for company ID 1 we are having two users who knows both the languages, that's why it's showing 2. For company ID 2 we are having only one user, that why it is showing as 1. I hope it is clear now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to having cc. Okay, having count uh, company id is equal to is greater than is equal to 2, at least 2, so greater than is equal to 2. And see, we are getting company id 1 is having the is matching, is satisfying our condition, right? He is having two users who knows both the languages, which is English and German. So I hope this solution is clear to you. Please, if you have got stuck anywhere, please mention in the comment, and also you can rewind the video and watch. It's quite a simple one, but again some a deeper implementation of group by and having clauses. So this is all about. Thank you. Meet you in the next video.